Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gene Edwards. You are watching Lubed Live. This is the post-game show of the Edmonton Oilers Colorado Avalanche game that took place this afternoon. And guys, I think you guys want me to go off on the Oilers today, but I'm not going to. I actually thought they played a pretty good game considering the circumstances. It was an uphill battle the whole way through for this team. From not having their shutdown guys in Klim Kostin, Kane, and Desharnais. Those guys really tire out opponents. This team was just was flat again in the third period, and I really do believe it has a lot to do with the roster depletion. Kane, of course, has an upper body injury. It's not flu related to like the other guys, but yeah, I'm not going to beat up too much on them on this game. This was a pretty valiant effort considering the circumstances, as they do fall short again in overtime, this time overtime and not a shootout, by a count of 6-5 to the Avs. Yeah, it is what it is, and it's unfortunate. And then with the injuries and all this kind of stuff and all the distractions with trade rumors and all that, like I said, I'm not going to beat up on them tonight. As Woody had to roll out again a 11-6 system, which is not ideal. It's not ideal at all. I know a lot of you guys out there are cursing and that because this is like their third or fourth straight loss or whatever. But they are fighting a good fight, and I'm going to give Warren Foegele props, considering I was actually going to beat down on him early in the first period, taking two consecutive penalties, and they were sloppy penalties, but he managed to get 2 goals today, which was pretty good. This was actually a game by committee. Like McDavid and Draisaitl were kind of not really the big the big what do you call it? The guys that are usually the guys. As this was by committee, I believe 14 players, I believe, got a point from the Edmonton Oilers. And oddly enough, despite this score being 6-5, not a single one was a power play. Now, I want to talk about power plays, actually, now that I mentioned. Another thing that the Oilers had to battle was the refs again. And I don't know what it is, but every time they play the Colorado Avalanche, it just seems like there's something with the refs every single time. And today it was 4 penalties for the Colorado Avalanche and only 1 for the Edmonton Oilers, which happened to come, about 4 or 5 minutes into the third period. So the first power play that the Oilers got took the third period. Every team does infractions, okay? I don't care which team you are. You're telling me Colorado didn't do any infractions in the first 2 periods? I call BS on that because I saw a couple times where McDavid was grappled and hooked and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just getting a little tired of the officiating, and especially when it's the Colorado Avalanche. It's like Gary Bettman, or it's like Joe Sakic has Gary Bettman in his back pocket or something. I don't know. That's just my theory on it. But anyway, let's get into the scoring summary for tonight. Oh, there it is. Oh, I thought I forgot to put the graphic up. As I'm just going to get my tablet going, as like I said, 11 goals, none of which were power play goals. And it did start off with Warren Foegele making up for some of his errors, getting his 8th of the year from Matthias Janmark in the first period. It was 1-0 after 1. We go to the second period. Warren Foegele gets his 2nd of the game and 9th of the year from Darnell Nurse and Cody Ceci. It's 2-0 Edmonton. Darnell Nurse makes it 3-0. From Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. And speaking of Zach Hyman, he took a shot and went down like really, really bad. And you never see Zach Hyman go down, and he went down in a heap. And I thought, oh no, don't tell me we lost Hyman now. But he didn't. He actually, TD Forbes gave him a painkiller on the bench, and he was good to go. So anyway, at that point it was 3-0. Then JT Compher closes the gap by getting his 11 from Nathan McKinnon and Samuel Girard. 3-1. Then it's Valerie Niskishkin. Oh, I'm just horrible with my voice today. His 10th from Nathan McKinnon, 3-2. Tyson Berry makes it 4-2 from Devon Shore and Jesse Pugliarvi. And we go to the third period. Edmonton leading now 4-2. And I knew it right going into this period. I'm like, I don't know if they still got this, right? So Nathan McKinnon makes it 4-3, and I'm like, yep, kind of figured so. But then Matthias Janmark makes it 5-3, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe they will take this one. Logan O'Connor makes it 5-4, and then Arturi Lehkonen makes it 5-5. We go to overtime, where Mikko Rantanen closes up the game from Devon Tays and JT Comper. 6-5 is your final. All goals, regular strength goals, 5-on-5 goals with exception to the overtime, because obviously that was 3-on-3. And that's it. That is it. So where does that leave the Edmonton Oilers as far as the standings go? Pretty much no movement, as they still have the number one wild card spot. They are 3 points up on the Minnesota Wild and 5 points up on the Calgary Flames, who occupy the first out spot of the playoffs. So right now, Oilers are hanging in there. I'm hoping that they get some of these guys back, some of these guys that can tire out their opponents. Evander Kane, Klim Kostin, Desharnais. Those are guys that tire out opponents and give the Oilers that little extra edge. Because I'll tell you right now, the Rangers game, third period, flat. Tonight was basically the same thing. And Campbell made some pretty good saves today. But, if you can't tire out your opponent, you're going to be at a significant disadvantage. So that is what it is. Okay, what is next? We will go into the Okay, I kind of abruptly jumped into that because I forgot that was the next thing. So the X Factor for tonight, or this afternoon actually, is basically just run depleted lineup. Like, I'm not going to fault anyone when 14 of your guys get points. It was a depleted lineup. I am not going to bark at the Edmonton Oilers for this game. Normally I would, but because of the situation and because of the penalties also was another factor. The fact that I know I'm making a lot of excuses, but they were also in Denver, which is way up there. But then again, Edmonton is the third highest altitude, so they should be used to the altitude. I know I sound like I'm making a lot of excuses, but I really, really think the Oilers played a good game today. It's just unfortunate that they lose again in this fashion. So it is what it is. And now they got to take on the Philadelphia Flyers on, Tuesday night. And then they got Pittsburgh, Columbus, a couple games against Boston coming up. So it doesn't get any easier. You just hope that this team is going to get healthier and hopefully do something about it. Anyway, guys, if there's any questions or comments, I will answer them. But it was kind of like, I get you as a fan being disappointed, and I am disappointed too that they lost. There's no question about it. But I also have to put things into perspective, as I really do believe that the Edmonton Oilers had a valiant effort in tonight's game. It's not often that you get 5 goals in a game, and McDavid and Draisaitl were very minimal factors. I don't know exactly their point totals, but I know it wasn't them that owned the game and did what they had to do to pull the Oilers through. A lot of guys got on the board. I believe it was 14 guys on the Edmonton Oilers that got points tonight. I believe that's what they said on the broadcast. Anyway, guys, I'm going to check the comments, and if there's no comments or that, I am going to shut her down for now, and there doesn't appear to be. So, I will do a preview video tomorrow for the Flyers game. This is a game that I'm kind of fond of because the Edmonton Oilers and Philadelphia Flyers, 2 years ago, I actually flew down to Kelowna to watch a game with the buddies and all that. It was a good old time, so I'm very fond about the Oilers and Flyers at the Rogers Place. So that'll be cool for me to watch. I got to go down to Edmonton and get another game in sometime. So hopefully I can at some point in time. Other than that, guys, as always, stay healthy, stay happy, stay hydrated. If you're witnessing this for the very first time and like the content I bring, feel free to hit like, share, and subscribe. Other than that, I am out. You guys have a great rest of your day.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic